Hi, and welcome back to Bachelor Buzz, the best place to come for recaps on your favorite show and the latest in Bachelor Nation news. We're your hosts, Arena.
And Julia, and we're so glad that you could join us on this lovely evening. We were happy that it was a one episode a week. Last week was crazy. It was a lot. It was fun, but it was a lot. So I'm glad that we're back to one and hope that you guys are also getting your buzz on, happy Bachelor week. Unfortunately, I am drinking water. I'm so parched, guys. Sometimes you just gotta pull a Joey, drink some water, right, Arena? And you got your
Yeah.
LaCroix. How do we say it? I don't know. Maybe we knew in Montreal because they speak French there. Actually, I do speak French. It should be La Croix, but whatever. I have a thing about that. Yeah, so hope you guys are all doing great. And should we start, Arena? The cold open. Can I talk about the cold open?
Yes.
The cold open was just Joey and Maria in
Mhm.
the stretch Rolls Royce, and it was fun. I was like, yay, we don't have the ominous opening anymore. It was so depressing last week, but we're back to happy times.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were having a great time, and she was teaching him some French, and she was coercing him into saying that he loves her in French,
I love it.
which is super cute. So I love that kind of lighthearted moment, but we can't always have the positivity, right? As soon as the cold open was over, we cut to Joey looking a mess.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh,
It
sorry.
was definitely a different look on Joey, but the nice thing is that this humanizes him and reminds everyone that he is a human. He has different
Hmm.
emotions and he's not always going to show up high energy, like he said, and charismatic because that's
Right.
not who he is. And so I was
Yeah.
really happy to see that because we got a glimpse of that when he talked about it with Charity on her season in the
Yeah.
nighttime portion of the date. And he said, some days I get in what I like to call a funk. So he
Right.
was spiraling already. I think he's really
Hmm.
starting to have feelings now for
It's
the
it's hitting the fan.
Mhm.
Everything is coming into fruition. And I liked hearing like, oh, his human side, but I also was like, wow, like it's just so different than my perspective or my perspective of him. Because I just figure he was like happy-go-lucky, high energy kind of guy, but here it's like I am not that guy. Like he was really trying to make sure we all understood that he's going through it.
Yeah,
So I'm definitely interested to see what happens next.
definitely. I
Yeah.
am too. And it was interesting to see how, even though the ladies showed up in Montreal super excited, like who wouldn't be?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Jesse showed up because Jesse's from Canada, everyone. Montreal is
Yay.
his second home. So it was really fun.
Yes. And his French is so perfect and
Yes,
awesome. Like he's just the perfect Canadian. He's perfect. I
he
love
is.
Jesse.
I
He
love
just
Jesse
say
too.
no wrong. Hope your
Really?
baby's doing well, Jesse.
Right? So, Jesse,
Shout out.
shout out to Jesse Palmer. You are the best host, in my opinion.
Hmm. Agreed.
Um, so he shows up, and obviously they find out who's going on the two one-on-ones. So Maria and Kelsey
Yeah.
T run off,
Yes.
and the ladies start their group date, and then they show up and to see Joey. And I thought it was really interesting how a lot of the women started spiraling on this
They
date.
were almost pulling back immediately. Like
Yes.
a lot of them didn't even like run up to him. They were just
Yeah.
like in their heads.
Right? And I was
Hmm.
just thinking, like, they're all kind of on the same vibe right now. Because here he is spiraling and getting really like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
his feelings. And they're also getting their feelings like, oh my gosh, we're getting down to it. And
Hmm.
some of them felt uncomfortable. Like Kelsey A said, she's usually not, like, she doesn't feel like she's insecure, but she felt a little that way during the date because she felt like
Yeah.
she had to vie for his attention. And then she also
Yeah.
felt like, does he even notice me? Am I even here? Because I think it just depends on your personality trait, right? Because
Right.
Jen, she
I
flourished.
was gonna say Jen just seemed so confident.
Yeah, she was in that environment, but you had Kelsey A and even like Lexi that seemed a little unsure. And I would say Rachel handled it pretty well. It seemed
Yeah.
like it. They didn't show a lot of her.
Daisy seemed, oh wait, yeah, Daisy seemed fine.
Daisy seemed fine. those were
Like
the major.
Caitlyn definitely
Yeah,
was in her
Caitlin.
head, and Kelsey and
Yeah.
Jess was in her
Yeah.
head. So,
Or
but that
Jen.
was a cute group date. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was like kind of like what I was saying that I want to see more of, like amazing race types
Yeah.
dates. They had a scavenger hunt through the city, and they talked to some old people again who were like, "You're dating," and they're all what? Which is always funny.
Yeah.
And then they ended up making poutine. And did you catch what was on Jen's?
Yes.
Jen stole the show.
Like, what was it? Chocolate syrup and pineapple?
Pineapple and
Right.
sriracha.
Yes. But you know what?
That's like
So
what?
smart of her. So smart because you think she really is eating that. Maybe she is. But she got his attention. He tried it. She
Just
fed
fun.
him. It was
Mhm.
perfect.
That's a good point. She really is like that light and energy that I think he really needs right now. So I'm happy that she's there and that she wasn't so much in her feels. I'm sure she is, you know. But it was really nice to see like someone who was feeling positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that she made that. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, you know what? It's something I would probably try. I mean,
Right? Yeah. I would try
people put
it.
pineapple on pizza,
Yeah.
chocolate, sriracha, got some like, Mexican sauce,
Yeah.
chocolate sauce vibes. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. Don't come at me with the Mexican.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a chef.
It's all good.
Even
It's all
sriracha is not Mexican, but spicy chocolate, it's a thing.
yes.
Anyways, but I will say I'm actually not a fan of poutine.
Yeah.
You like it?
It's got the gravy that's meaty.
True.
So I haven't eaten meat now for like, I don't even remember anymore. 17 years now. So,
Oh my God.
no. The
See,
fries.
well, yeah. Well, like I had poutine and I still didn't like it, and I was a meat eater back then. So, but
Like,
yeah, anyways, I was just kind of like the whole thing. I mean, I think it's funny, but it's like it's not like I'm like, oh, I love poutine. Like I would try it, whatever.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
once
Jen.
again, I'm just gonna point out though, what would a vegetarian do?
Well, technically hers was
Sausages. I
vegetarian.
can't see
Yeah.
the poutine. Okay. Or vegan.
Yeah. Uh-huh, true.
I know.
Well, okay, so the group date, you
Yeah.
know, they had a fun time,
Uh,
kind of everyone got upset. So, oh yeah, and then they were dancing, whatever, and a lot
yeah.
of the girls got upset by that too. But then at the after party is when we really saw how sensitive everyone's
Thing
gotten. And he
not
could even, yeah, he read the room really well though.
yeah.
He's like, "Hey, let's cheers." Like everyone, you know, we're at that time. I don't even remember what he said. Like
I don't
just
know. But
positive. He did help them,
he tried,
He
but I
tried.
feel like when he showed up, when he first sat down and they were all sitting there, he's like, "How's everyone doing?" And they were all like, "Hi,"
Oh my
and he was like, "I'm
gosh.
not feeling it." He's like smiling awkwardly, like
Yeah.
not feeling.
Although I will give them all props. I don't think they brought up the Jess Maria drama once.
No.
Leia, I was like, thank goodness. Leave
Well,
it in Europe. They didn't
Leia,
really bring it up. Did
Leia did
Leia?
say when Maria got the one-on-one
Oh,
face, it was in the ITM. She was like
right.
something like she's upset that Maria got the one-on-one. Not that she didn't get the one-on-one, but that Maria got it. So I thought that was interesting, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so they had their nighttime portion, and I noticed something about like Kelsey A and her interaction with him. Now, he did something like I thought was really cute where she was feeling insecure and she told him how she was feeling. And then she was like, I told you I'm a klutz and I feel like I'm falling now for you. And he was like, "Did you whisper that?" And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "What did he said something like say it again or say it to me again or something." And I thought that was
um,
just like really, for me, I thought it was very sexy and cute. And
mhm.
it was just like, okay,
It's like, don't be afraid
yes.
to say it.
And he really wanted to hear her say it because he's into her.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and I also thought she looked really cute too because I felt like it was a little different with her look this time too, just because I'm
Yeah.
noticing all their looks and everything. But I will say, I kind of wonder, and maybe I've missed this. they always show that Daisy is checking in on him. And I
Hmm.
do think that there are other women that are checking in on him because we saw that a little bit this time in this
Yeah.
date. But I feel like a lot of the time and maybe I'm wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong, that he is, really helping Kelsey A feel secure about their connection, their relationship. And I'm wondering if I've missed her checking in on him in their
Mm. Yeah.
communication, like in their little moments together. He's always
Right.
very like, very much like I forgot the word that I was looking for, but I put it in my notes. Where is it?
Mm.
um yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to think on that. I don't really
And
remember
I
if
could be
she's,
wrong,
yeah.
and they could just not be showing it. That's the thing. Because they're editing this the way they want us to see these women. And
Yeah, there's so much that we don't see.
exactly. There's so much that we don't see. And it's not a knock on her regardless. It's just something that I was looking at because one of the things that I know that he likes is when Daisy always checks in on him. Like
Hmm.
all the time. She's always checking in and seeing like how are you doing and everything. So I noticed that.
Although this time she had a different approach.
That was funny.
That was
Like
cute.
that was so fun. And that was or wait, was that at the cocktail hour at the end? Or
Oh,
was
you're right. Oops. All right. We'll talk about that
we'll talk about
later.
that. But yeah, so then we didn't see I don't even think we saw her talking to him this time. We didn't see Rachel talk to him. We just saw
Oh,
Kelsey
just
and
the really
him,
intense conversations. And
Caitlin,
Jess. Oh,
and
yeah.
of course Jess. Which I
So
saw coming.
Jess,
Sad.
I felt bad.
I did
Honestly,
too.
she really, I think not to quote Leia, but I do think there was a little bit of delulu-ness in it, a little bit.
Really? Yeah. Unfortunately, like the way she was like, I'm falling for you, and they never had a
It
one.
was just too, yeah, it was just like, are you really? I just hope that she, you know, didn't fall too quick,
Yeah.
you know. Like I get it. Maybe they did again, we see so many different moments. And actually she did tell us, like we talked to her on Instagram and
Yeah.
like she spilled a teeny bit of tea. It wasn't too hot. But she told us that like he didn't hose her down after the paint night date or whatever. They weren't allowed to jump in the pool. And I was just kind of like, oh, like if they had that extra moment, maybe there would have been more of a connection. Just like little things like that where like,
Yeah. He
you just
just
never know what happens after
You
just
don't. And
what we see.
I feel like he thought she was like a great girl and he felt like, she'll be a great wife or a great partner. He just wasn't seeing it. And I like the fact
Yeah.
though that he's honest about it because you could even tell, I feel like in last week's episode, one of the episodes, maybe the fifth one, where I think she was talking to him about falling and he kind of just looked down and just wasn't as invested in that
Mhm.
as he seemed with some of the other women that we've seen strong connections with. And
Yeah.
I feel like it got to a point because she said it again that he just felt like, okay, I can't lead this girl on.
Yeah. He took that as like, I've had my moment of clarity.
Yeah.
You are not
Yeah.
possibly my wife. So he had to let her go. And it was sad. But like again, this is the time where he needs to cut it down. So
Yeah.
I was like, thank God he's starting
Yeah.
because he really needed to narrow down his list,
Yep.
which he thankfully does.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, and
That's
then who got the
awful.
rose? Oh, Jen got the
Yeah,
rose.
Jen got the rose because she did such a
Yeah.
great job with the group date. She was like so like good at talking to him during that and touching like little touches and
Yeah.
everything
She
and
brought him up.
exactly. And she does that. Like every time they have a group date, it doesn't like she doesn't like go off into the background when they have group dates. She's at the forefront and she pays
Hmm.
attention to him and makes sure that he knows that. She's always really good with that. So I'm glad she got the group date
Me
rose because she
too.
definitely deserved it. And then so we go on and we go to what is it? Kelsey T.
Yeah.
I was so excited Kelsey T got this date,
Me
but
too.
I mean, I love Kelsey T, and I will say also, I really love her outfits. Like how she dresses is definitely
Hmm.
more along my style, and I just feel like I really like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like the other women's dresses and stuff. Everyone has their own style, but for me personally, she's more aligned with
Hmm.
my style. And she looks so pretty, and she showed up. to see him, and they went to do a Cirque du Soleil acrobatic date where they're learning how to do that stuff. And I think it's a neat idea, but I'm kind of like, I don't know if I would want to do that as a first real date because how are we really talking? I like the ones where they're walking around the city and they're
Yeah.
like that because you could have a lot of time to talk to them. And if
Yeah, the whole learning thing, it's like walking around the city's nice or like doing an activity where it's like a creative thing
yeah,
or doing an activity where it's kind of scary, but like you work with each other. This was like a lesson that they were both just part of.
yeah.
It was funny though.
It
It
was
was actually so entertaining. Poor Joey.
oh my gosh, I feel so bad, but I laughed out loud so much.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
He definitely looked like he was over it.
Mhm.
I'm not big on being upside down or anything like that, so I can relate to him a lot. I wouldn't have liked that. But, with someone who's like supporting you, like
Mhm.
Kelsey T,
Yeah.
he still had a good time.
Yeah, it was cute. And
She looked really cute too. I liked her like little
I
workout
loved
outfit.
it. And the color
Yeah.
too. Like she
Mhm.
looked so cute. And I think they had a nice time together and they went on to the nighttime date and that's where she got into her situation that she talked about with
Mhm.
her
Her
father.
trauma. Mhm.
Yes, which was extremely sad. She talked about the fact that her father said you can't be in my house anymore because of the religion that she no longer wanted to be part of the religion that she grew up in.
Yeah.
And she was a Jehovah's Witness. Um,
Yes. They don't mention that in the show, but we dug a little deeper.
yes, there's a Voyage LA article that you can find online where she's featured. And Voyage LA, real quick, not to toot my own horn, but I was featured in it too. Um,
Ooh, okay.
5 years
The
ago.
only the most important news. Continue.
But it's definitely something that a lot of artists do it and actors and working
Oh,
actors. So, but it's a magazine in LA and they basically feature you. They ask you questions, you answer them, they show photos of you and all this. So, in that article, she said that she had been a Jehovah's Witness and she had to break her ties with that religion in order to go to college at Cal State
right.
Northridge. And she also wanted to be an actor and be in the arts. So that was her way of getting out of that. So it was, I'm glad we got to hear her story. And Joey, he did his thing where he listens to them and he wanted to ask questions and he was there for her. But the thing I felt during this date is he does really like her, and I see that, but I'm feeling friend vibes.
Mm,
And not because I don't think they had a great date, but compared now to some of the other
yeah,
connections we've seen, if I'd seen this date earlier in the season, it would have been different.
right.
But
I
at this
agree with you.
point,
Like this late in the game,
yes.
I felt like their spark wasn't as like magnetic
Yeah.
as the other girls, you
Yeah.
know?
Unfortunately.
Like
Um,
I feel like with Rachel, he's like a very strong, and
yeah.
Maria, it's
Yeah.
like this just like feeling that he has where it's like, okay, no matter what these girls, you know. But
Yeah.
with Kelsey T, I feel like it is more of like a building thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if they can
Do it
get
in.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can get there.
Ahead of the other connections.
Exactly. And if this was real life, it would be a different story. Like real life. If this was
Mhm.
outside the show, it would be a different story. They could date a little more and get to
Ugh,
know each
girl, they're in Bachelor Nation. It's not real. They're not in America. They're in or Canada. They're in Bachelor Nation now.
Bachelor Nation land.
Has its own set of rules.
Yes, its own set of rules, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was sad about that, but I'm glad she finally did get that one-on-one. She deserved it. I'm glad he explored that. And I'm glad she got to top six. I'm really happy she did because from the moment she got out of that limo the first night, I was like, I know he likes her. And we just saw this very little bit at a time every episode and finally got this one on one. So
Mhm.
we'll see, but I don't know at this point really if she's going to go hometowns with all the other strong
Yeah.
connections, unfortunately. But I loved it, and I loved that she was vulnerable and trusting of him and that he provided that space for her.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was, it was cute, and I'm happy it happened. But
Me too. Yeah. And then after that, we kind of go right into the one-on-one with Maria,
yes.
and all the girls are kicking themselves that they didn't snatch that date card stealing card from Leia from the fireplace on day one because Maria gets the pretty woman
Yeah.
date. Yes, I'm so happy for her. Like honestly, I feel like she deserves it a little bit after all this bullshit with the other girls. Like it just, it's kind of fun for her. She doesn't have to stress about jumping out of a plane or
Yeah.
anything. Although they do go to a helicopter after.
Yeah.
But it was cute. He picked her up as we saw earlier in the cold open
Mhm.
in the stretch Rolls Royce, right? That was the car, right?
I think so, but I didn't see the back or the front,
I feel like
so
I just knew it, but I guess I could
it
look
just
that
looked
up.
like it. It looked like a classic. Yeah. But yeah, like their banter though in the limo was so cute and funny. It was so playful and
Hmm.
flirty and just she cracks him up, and it was really fun to see
Hmm.
Joey laughing so much and enjoying himself too, because we'd seen in the beginning that he was so torn and just feeling so down and low energy and not sure, feeling that this could all not work out and everything. But then he had this
Yeah.
time with Maria, and that really helped him too come out of the.
Yeah. And something about Maria, it's like, for example, with Kelsey T and most of the one-on-ones, they are times where you like open up about your trauma and all this stuff. But she already got that over with. She already told him everything. So this was really just about having fun.
Right.
And she got to try on dresses. And what did you think about the actual outfit she ended up with?
I
Did you
don't
like
think
her outfit?
I
It was
think
like, mhm.
I've seen her in so many things that fit her so well that I was a
Yeah.
little underwhelmed about it. Not because of the
Yeah.
designer and the dress itself, but on
Yeah.
her, I just felt like she's worn so many great things that just
Yeah. I wanted something more like fitted. It was
fitted.
just kind of like a loose, like it was like a waisted
Yeah.
long, like maxi dress with like
And
a
it was
high
like,
neck,
it
sleeveless.
seemed kind of
It was
low
like,
on the sleeves.
yeah,
Like,
it was kind of low. It seemed
yeah,
baggy a little bit on the top, and
yeah,
like it was just gold sequins,
yeah. Like green gold. I feel like I saw green.
but I don't even know what other colors were in there. It was like a light yellow almost
Yeah,
instead of gold, but
yeah.
the shoes were black, pointy with like silver and clear rhinestones on
Okay, I
them. And I
missed
was
that.
just like,
I missed that.
wow. I was like, Joey picked it out. He picked out the dress. I was like,
Yes.
that's the last time you're gonna let a man pick out your outfit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but and like I
Sorry.
said, no
I
knock to
mean,
the
she pulled
designer.
it off. He loved it. She loved it. But
Yeah, but
I'm always hoping for a little bit
a
more.
little more. And the designer did a great job on the like. This is no knock to the designer. That dress
Right.
was great for someone else.
I would have
That's
done
all.
different shoes. I think
That's all.
different shoes would have put it all
Changed it up
together.
a little. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, though, Joey picked it out and
Yeah.
he loved it. She loved it. She did feel amazing. You could tell she was super on cloud
So
nine.
happy and felt like a
Yeah.
princess and was just so genuinely herself. I felt like
She
during
was
this.
like cracking jokes
Yeah, she was cracking.
and tricking him into saying that he loves her in
I
French,
know. That was really
So that
funny.
was really cute. That's like some shit that I pull because I
Yeah,
love languages and I would definitely do stuff like that to my husband when we were
right?
dating, just
Yeah, it's
making
so
him say
funny.
crazy things.
I feel like also just the playfulness of just Joey and like slapping his
Yeah.
like that also reminded me of my husband and I, and how sometimes
Uh-huh.
I'm more like ah! and my husband's a
Yeah.
little more like that. So it was
They
just fun to watch and
have that
relate to
energy
her.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like she does keep him on her toes. And this
Hmm.
was just nice because it just kind of like with Jen, where it's like we have these girls, some of them are just like so confident and happy,
Yeah.
but then the other side, they're all so neurotic and like nervous. So
Yeah.
it's just like really like that alone tells you who's kind of surviving
Yeah.
and who probably will move on to hometowns.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cute date. And then they went in a helicopter,
Yep.
right?
Another helicopter ride.
Yeah, and I don't remember anything from that.
I don't really.
Whatever. Then they
All
had dinner.
I saw online that actually the studio, where they went, where she got the dress, is only like 5 or 6 minutes away from the theater. So
Oh, so they did a helicopter
that's what
ride
I
for like
read. I don't know if it's
2 minutes.
true, but that's what I saw.
That's funny.
That's what I saw online though. But I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was part of the whole like take you out and buy you things and take you in a helicopter, drink champagne. It was part of the whole thing. I
The
get it. Um,
Bachelor.
yeah, The
Hmm.
Bachelor. And I get also like she seemed kind of nervous about getting in that helicopter, which I totally understand. I am not a huge fan. I will never do it again.
Oh, I've never, but I would. It seems
Once was
fun.
enough for me, and that's
Really.
never do
Ooh.
it again. It was so
How
frightening.
about private jet?
It was private jet's different.
Yeah,
Private
I would
jet's
do that.
different, but a helicopter, like, because you feel all the bumps. You feel it, like,
Really?
because there's nothing. It's not like a big jet or plane.
Oh my God.
Feeling it, like, I did it in Hawaii over volcanoes in Maui, and I was every time the helicopter dropped a little, I was like, oh gosh, like, is this it? Seriously, I was like,
Life
oh my
flashes
gosh,
before your eyes. Oh no.
yes, like it was so frightening.
Yeah,
So I will
I
never
would
do it
probably
again.
be
It's fun.
like a
It's
baby about that.
yeah.
It's exciting. But
Yes.
yeah, but you know what? She got through it.
She
They had
got through it
fun.
just
He
fine.
wasn't dizzy
Yeah. And he was
anymore.
great with it too. So I think it also depends on who you're with too. I think
Yeah.
like yeah. If I was single again and I was 23 and it was
Hmm.
maybe not Joey, but someone like him, I would have probably been like,
Hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the nighttime date portion of the date was really
Hmm.
nice. Um, and she told him how she was in a relationship with a man who kind of strung her along. And at a certain point, he kept saying, like, oh, down the line. And she was just like, no, this is down the line, down the line. It needs to happen. And so she
Hmm.
had to end that relationship. And he understood that. And it was a very real conversation. I think, especially with the women that are older in like the group. And she's only 29. But
Oh.
there's a big
I
difference.
mean, it's like foreshadowing a bit on what we see later,
Yeah,
which we
seriously.
didn't mention yet, but we'll just talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was shown, like we'll get to that. But yeah, it was just really nice their connection. And then they listened to Feist performed for
Hmm.
them, and
Wow, Bachelor's actually getting like real bands this season. It's crazy.
I know, like real the
That's
the
cool.
budget has increased
Yeah.
and like
Hmm.
boom,
Thank you.
like
Thank you, Gary.
right, Golden Bachelor money.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, it was really cute, and I really enjoyed watching it and seeing
Yeah.
Maria. And I've grown to like really like Maria. I never disliked her, but I
Mhm.
didn't really know her in the beginning. And as
I
time,
like her more now than in the beginning.
like she's just very strong, and she's very like she knows what she wants,
Hmm.
and it's to be admired. And I also feel like we know that he really likes that in women. I feel like
Yeah.
he's drawn to that, so it's nice to see their connection.
Yeah.
But so after that we go into the rose ceremony. And
Yes.
ooh, oh no, wait, Lexi
Oh.
first. Sorry, Lexi came next. Even though I think it was filmed the night of Kelsey T's date, but they decided to show it
Oh.
after Maria's date
Oh, okay.
because of her outfit.
Again.
They
Oh,
did the
I didn't pay
editing.
attention.
Yeah, it was like the same outfit she was wearing when they first initially showed it.
Oh.
Or maybe they did do it after, but it was just I don't know. Editing. That's all. That's all I'm gonna
We need
say.
a producer. We need you. We need to interview you. But yeah, so Lexi, so at the first group date, that's when she asked him, we forgot, that's what we forgot to say.
Oh,
Like,
right.
she asked him, what's your timeline?
Mhm.
And he tells her, and I almost spat out my wine because I was like, oh my God, feel for her because I would have been so annoyed to hear that at 30. He says he wants to be engaged for 2 to 3 years and then married for 2 years at least. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so she's not gonna even like maybe start trying to have a kid till she's 35. That is cutting it a little close. Not to say anything wrong with it, but like as far as just like freezing the eggs and stuff that she has to be concerned about with her endometriosis.
Mhm.
That's, I could just hear in her head, like her face was just like, ah, you
Yes.
know, like that's not what you want to hear. And I get it. He's 28. So for him, he'll be 33. That's great. I mean, I had a kid at 33.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes sense. But like to not even start trying till 35, I can, I just feel for her.
Yeah, I totally made my cat. Can you hear my cat?
Yes. Hello.
One moment.
Snuggles.
I will cut this. This cat. What?
Let's see him. Bring him on the podcast.
You want to come?
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Okay, go. Go, 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 go. I'll see you later. Love you so much. Meow. Another time, I think he was just like, I need a snack. Um,
Aw.
okay, we're back to it. I'll
We're
just,
back.
um,
Yeah,
but yes, so I totally get it. She had a valid point, and like you said, starting at 35 or even 36 to have children, and she, with her
right. Yeah.
infertility, what the?
That is not what she wants to hear. She
Oh,
thought this was like the perfect ticket, probably. All right, I'm going to get engaged. This will fast track my love journey, not basically end up with the same timeline as you get with any other guy. It's just the
really?
2 to 3 years of engagement would
Yeah.
include like a year or two of dating. It's the same timeline. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I commend her for bringing it up.
Yep.
I think that was an important conversation. It's not one that we usually see
Yep.
on The Bachelor. So I'm really, really glad that she is now, free to do what she wants. And I
Yeah.
hope she finds love. So good luck, Lexi.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
too. And I think that also I liked how she talked about it in her ITMs that she was like, he's not ready for that and that's okay. And it's true
yes.
because you can't force someone to get on your
No.
timeline. If you're in different places, then you're in different places. And if
Yep.
he was really, if he really, really wanted to make it work, and I'm not saying he didn't care about her.
Yeah.
He obviously saw a future with this woman. But I feel like if he really felt like this is the one, he would have been like, I will try to make it work. We will figure this
Yeah.
out and blah, blah, blah. But he's also
Not
28.
sure. Goodbye. Like,
Yeah.
well, he wasn't that cold,
Yeah,
but
he wasn't that cold. But
no, I agree. Like if she was the one, he
mhm,
would have, pulled a Colton and been like, all right, this is over.
yeah.
You're for me. So
He's young though. For a guy, he's
I'm
28.
glad he didn't do that. He needs to continue this journey.
Yeah, and
This is his journey.
if that's what he wants to do the 2 to 3 year engagement, which is normal, like we were just talking about in real life. That's normal.
It's very normal.
And then get married and then have some time with his partner before they have children. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us do that. I do that, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. So yeah, I like how they broke up though. It was very, very like civil.
Yeah.
And
Very mature.
yes, and with her age,
Um,
she's 30. I think that's a big part of it,
yeah.
honestly. And this is not to knock the younger women who go on the show, but you do change a lot from 23, 24 to
From 29 to 31.
21.
Just kidding.
Yes. No, you
Shout out Medina.
but like you do change a lot in that time period from that age to that age. I know I did.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's definitely a difference, and I think we see that. We see him going for, in the end, he has a 31-year-old in his top six, a 29-year-old, a 26-year-old who's Rachel, and then Daisy, Kelsey are 25. I want to say Jen is, maybe?
Don't
She's
know.
around there. She's around there.
Mm.
But she's mature too. And I
Yeah.
think Daisy's mature and Kelsey A has been through life experience. So maturity
And
there. So
Rachel. Yeah, they're all like great women now,
mhm.
honestly.
I
I
love that
mean,
top six. They're great.
yeah. Oh, we're getting ahead. All right, so
Yeah.
rose
All right.
ceremony,
Oops.
whatever. Oh, wait, so Daisy,
Oh, right?
she gets a foot massage. That's what
I
we were
love
talking
that.
about earlier. I thought that
Yes.
was so cute. I was like, okay, Daisy. Like, once again, I just love these little moments that, like,
Right.
aren't about like maybe her resume stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like them
Like,
vibing, and it's really cute.
Yeah, a lot of levity there, and it was a good idea for her to bring that up.
I
And
just hope he washed his hands after. So, oh my God. Can you imagine being one of the girls and being like, oh my God, he touched my face like right after?
oh God, I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that. That's
It's
true.
the first thing I thought of, and I was so
Oh.
upset. But I am confident that Joey would know to do that. So
Yes, yeah, he would
hopefully.
know to do that. Or hopefully a producer would be like, "Hey, you want some hand sanitizer? Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to clean those up?"
But I mean,
Fine.
again, power move from Daisy,
Yeah,
like
very smart.
rub my feet,
She's a
that's
smart
a husband
woman.
thing to do.
Yes. Hey, my husband does it for me sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Can you maybe?" He's like,
Oh,
"Yeah."
yeah. I mean, that's like, again, it's like that's the kind of move from a husband.
Yeah,
So if
it's
he
good.
was like weird about it or whatever, red flag.
Red flag.
Just
But it's
saying.
Joey, I feel like he would not be weird about it. Joey's so like he just kind of goes with different things, unless it's completely absurd. But
Yeah.
he will pretty much try or do almost anything
Like
it seems
Cirque du
like.
Soleil.
Yes, he won't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. He
um,
tried it. Good for
Tried
him.
it. But yeah, so she did a great job. And then his conversation with Rachel was nice. We finally saw their conversation this episode, and she checked in on him and basically was funny because she alluded to the fact that Jen brought him out to that piano to teach him
Yeah.
the piano, and all the women were
Right.
sitting there
They
like, this is awkward.
hated that.
Oh my
They
gosh. They
hated
were like,
that.
should we look? Should we not look?
They were so like not cool with that, which I thought was funny because I was like, oh, I thought we were all best friends over here. But they're all like, get out of here. We don't want to watch you with him.
I know. Their connection right in front of them. Even
Yeah,
closer.
I know, right?
But I love how she was like, "Thank you for serenading us," and he was like, so that was really funny.
Stuff like
But
that.
they have
It's
a
like they
little,
just already have that connection,
they already have that connection, so I really liked seeing that. And I don't know who else did he talk to? That was pretty much all I remember.
That's
Sorry,
it.
I guess.
Cut to the rose ceremony.
Yes.
Ooh, they're all freaked out because he comes out and says, we're gonna lose some great women tonight. And they were all like, women. Like they already lost Jess and Lexi. So they're like, there's not much of us left. There was 8 left,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so then they're like, great, women. Now we're gonna have like at least 2 people gone.
Hmm.
And they were right
Yeah.
because the last 2 were not surprising to us. Honestly, we've done a great job with our
Really
predictions.
have.
What? So, Leia, goodbye, and Caitlin. I was sad about Caitlin because I
Yeah.
felt like she was really just now opening up. I feel
Yes.
like Leia didn't quite get there as far as like really showing herself and her personality to him.
Yeah, and
Did
we
you?
didn't see
Yeah.
like any of their interactions with each other besides
No.
the first night of the series.
Right. I
Like,
just felt like, yeah, it just, it's like, I just felt like I'm not so surprised. But Caitlin, she really put herself out there more
yeah,
lately.
she did.
So that was kind of sad
He just didn't compared to the others. Once again, he has to
compared to the
compare.
others. Yeah.
So it just
And
wasn't.
she didn't get a one-on-one either.
Yeah, and
At
you
this point, all the remaining ones
have one on
have had
ones, which is
one-on-ones.
great
So,
because that doesn't
yeah.
always happen with the Bachelor and
No.
Bachelorette. So I'm really happy he's being very like consistent and intentional. Like he
Yeah.
literally, like you said, every single woman in the top six he's had a one-on-one with. So we
Yeah.
know that he's really made this decision based on his time with them in a personal setting where it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
And I
And
really
like time means so much to him.
Yes, and he does say quality time is everything to him. That's his biggest thing in a relationship and to show love and what he needs from his
Mhm.
partner is quality time. Now, I'll say that saying that last week, I'm just going to throw back because I'm thinking about the future in the hometowns. I love
Okay.
Rachel, but she's an ICU nurse and they work long hours. And remember in his ITM on their date, he goes, dating a nurse is hard. Like that's something that, and he didn't write it off, but it seemed
Yeah.
like he was like, I don't know, like,
It's like maybe an orange flag to him.
and that's what's so sad because that's her career. It's like, well,
It
I
is sad.
mean,
Yeah.
it's not like her. It's what she does for a living. She helps
Yeah.
people, which is that's amazing. But
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll come up again later on
True.
because I think
Maybe
There,
like with her friends or something like that.
yeah, like I just feel like is that gonna come? Because she's also said that's been an issue sometimes with relationships in the past where the person didn't quite understand that it's a lot of hours and emotionally she may come home drained because she deals with a
Right.
lot. People passing away. She's also mentioned in IG posts like she faces racism too as a nurse. So
Abuse.
it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot. So yeah, I don't know because I'm
That's a
already
good
like,
point. Yeah. I know. Things like that make me just kind of worried for her.
yes.
Like that on top of just like the slow burn though. Although I do feel like even though it's a slow burn, that fire's there.
Yes.
The wick is good. It's
Yes,
not
it is.
not like a shitty
And he is there for it.
wick.
He is
Yeah.
like, I'm there for the slow burn. I'm in it. So
Yeah. Like it's definitely there.
he really, really likes her. I think he's really into her and he wants it to be there. Like he
Yeah.
wants it to work, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, so
Okay.
basically that's the end of the episode. But what are we thinking? We're going into next week. This is the last episode before hometowns. We have six. Who's going to hometowns?
I think should we do a prediction? I mean, I
Yes.
don't know.
Let's do a
So
prediction.
I think it's gonna be Maria, Kelsey, Daisy, and Rachel.
I definitely Daisy for sure, and Kelsey A for sure, and Rachel because there's something about their connection that we're not always seeing, which kind of bothers
Mhm.
me because I'm like, can we see more of her? But
Yeah.
there's something there that he is just so he's just there for it, and I love it. So definitely with her, but then
Yeah.
fourth, it's hard for
Yeah.
me.
Do you think Maria
Maria
or
makes a lot of sense.
Jen?
I think Maria makes
Yeah.
a lot of
Or
sense.
Kelsey T. Hmm.
Kelsey T, unfortunately, I don't think they're there yet. And I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to get there in time. Um, I love Kelsey T. She's one of my favorites. But looking at it, she's not as far along as like a Daisy and a Kelsey A and a Rachel,
Yeah.
honestly. And Maria.
Yeah.
Maria makes a lot of sense. I actually do. But
I
Jen,
just feel like,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Maria makes sense.
He really
Huh?
likes Jen.
I know, you're right.
But we haven't seen a lot of her.
I know. I
So
kind of like I do want to see more of
I want to
her.
see more
So
too, but I
I
want
just feel like America wants to see Maria.
right? Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. And she'll probably be the Bachelorette, honestly. She's getting a great edit. We didn't see
Yeah.
anything really negative about her besides other women attacking her. And not really attack not
Yeah.
that. They did attack her. But like
Yeah.
we didn't see anything else. And I don't know if like I feel like Maria would defend herself. I don't think she did all those awful things necessarily that some of them said, but
Yeah.
she would defend herself, but we didn't see it. So I'm kind of wondering she's just getting the bachelorette edit. So then she
Yeah.
didn't have to get to top 4 to be a bachelorette, but
Hmm.
usually lately it seems like
Usually.
the last several seasons they're
Yeah,
really
they like to pull from the top.
they usually do. Occasionally they go out to the 6th, 7th, 8th. In Clayton's case, what was he like 10th? I don't know. No offense to Clayton, okay? But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
came out of nowhere from Michelle's season, and people were like, huh? But um, Maria just makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. Jen could be in there.
You're right.
But we do see in the teaser, he definitely does another one on one with Daisy, which makes sense.
Hmm.
He does another one on one, it looks like with Kelsey. So
Hmm.
does he do three one on ones and one little group one where he eliminates? Or does he do just two one on ones and the rest of them go to that group date? I don't
Oh my
know.
gosh.
And if there
Guess
is
we'll
a
have to
third one,
watch.
I know. And I want Rachel to get another one on one. If Daisy and Kelsey get another one, why doesn't Rachel get one? No, I'm kidding. Okay. I'm going to cut that. That was a little much.
It's a little much.
I'm going to like,
Okay.
okay.
Want to redo it a little less?
Yeah, I really want Rachel to get a one-on-one. I really
Yeah.
another one because we see that Kelsey and Daisy do, and not like her book Daisy do, but Daisy does.
Daisy does.
Daisy does, and I think it makes sense that they do because Daisy and Kelsey are front runners, and they're great women.
Mhm.
Okay, like it's awesome, and I understand. They really seem like they're clicking and connecting with him 100%, and the chemistry's there. But I just feel like we just haven't seen a lot of Rachel, but I still
I
feel like she's
agree.
a contender, and that bothers me because I think it's
Yeah.
unfair.
It's like,
Yeah,
you know, don't give up till you've tried everything. It's like
exactly.
I just don't want her to go home without having that special, like,
Yes.
extra time with him, but
Yes, extra
they
time.
all need the time with him,
They all
at this
do.
point.
They all do. Yeah.
But the hometowns are kind of like one-on-ones, so as long as we can get her there.
Yeah, and that'll be nice to see her family and learn a little more about her because we still don't really know about her because we never saw her bio. They didn't show it. They showed Maria's, Kelsey A's, Lexi's, Daisy's, and Erica's in the first episode. Obviously,
That's
Erica went in
interesting.
the second episode, but why did we see all these other women? Why? Because they're probably contenders for the Bachelorette, and one of
Yeah.
them's the winner.
Ah, gotta watch to see, I guess.
Watch to see, gotta watch to see. But we still should have seen Rachel in
Yeah,
there because she's doing well.
she is, yeah.
Yeah,
And she's a fan favorite.
she's not.
But
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna like watch the episode next week and look for the connections deepen
Yes.
and get excited for hometowns the following week because we're getting closer to Joey finding his person, which I don't love that term, but we're getting closer to him finding the one. I'll say the one.
His fiance.
His fiance, although he keeps saying wife. Oh, and I will say real quick, I wonder, he keeps saying he has this feeling that this is not going to work out. Are they leaving that in to allude to the final episode with that teaser that they showed us at the beginning of the
I
season?
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And two, I think he is engaged right now. I don't think whatever happens, I think it works out. But I
Yeah.
wonder, is that his instinct telling him?
Mm.
And it's not nerves, it's not just nerves and anxiety, it's instinct. Because I think there's two things. We feel anxiety a
Like a
lot and we feel
self-fulfilling
instinct.
prophecy. Hmm.
Yes. And I think that it's just important to try to figure out because there is a line between them. Like, which one is it? Because I think we
Wait,
feel
you said what? Anxiety and what?
instinct, intuition.
Instinct. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we all have it. And I think
So
that
true.
when we get nervous or we feel something, and we may always say it's anxiety, I don't think it's always anxiety. I think it's also intuition, and maybe that's his intuition.
Hmm.
Hmm. We'll see. But
Would
that's
love. Yeah, we'll just have to watch.
all we have.
Yeah, thank you guys for getting your buzz on with us. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.